The Real Living Wage Pledge is it's essentially an initiative. We're asking as many agencies as possible, ideally ultimately all agencies, to sign up to a pledge to pay everyone who works in or for the agency, whether they be freelance, permalance, placement, intern, work experience or whatever, the real living wage, calculated by an independent body, the Living Wage Foundation, that is not equivalent to the government's living wage, but is actually based on real life living costs and what it costs to actually live there. It's essentially asking everyone in advertising to pay everyone who works for them a proper wage so that they can afford to work in the industry wherever they happen to be from.
The advertising industry, like many others, has got a challenge with diversity, and we felt that this was a simple step that agencies could take to remove one of the key barriers, which is people not being paid properly. So if you have to work for free or you don't earn enough to live at an entry-level position, that is automatically going to rule you out. And it's absolutely brilliant that so many agencies have just signed up and taken that first step.
I think there's kind of a long-term goal and a short-term goal. The long-term goal, unashamedly, is to change the face of the industry. I think, like the vast majority of industries, we have a challenge on the diversity front. We're not as diverse as we should be for our benefit and for our clients' benefit. And the short-term goal is really to get people thinking differently. I think at the moment, far too many people don't see the creative industries as an option. I think there are astonishing statistics around nearly a third of university graduates are asked to do unpaid internships to get into work generally. That's not just the creative industries, and it costs around about £1,000 a month for people to do that, which is insane. I stumbled into a grad scheme that paid me decently, which was incredibly fortunate. Otherwise I couldn't have afforded to live in London. I grew up in Wales, so commuting from there wasn't really an option. And I think it's only with hindsight that I realised how lucky I was, and I don't want that to be the case going forward.
Like Dan, I was lucky enough to get on a grad scheme 18 years ago, which completely changed my life. And that was at a time when in London you could afford to live and get a flat and work as a graduate trainee, and I just think it's really important that other people get the opportunity that I was so fortunate to have. That's been so brilliant, and I think creativity is driven by diversity and different people of all kinds contributing to it. So it just feels like this is the right thing to do and a fair thing to do, and something that's good for the output that we put out into the world.